and we're now actively looking and working with lots of different comedians. We've got over 100 comedians already working with us, and we approached AfroStar because I'm a long-term holder. I was actually in the pre-sale. I've never sold any of my AfroStar tokens, so I've been a believer in the project from the very start and watched most of the AMAs that Darren and Tanya have done before. You know, we went to an event in Houston, and we went to an event called Cryptomania, where we were asked to speak on stage, and loads of the people out there were buzzing, talking not just only about our token, the joke token. They were also talking about AfroStar, and the audience was mainly African American, Black, and minorities, Mexican as well. And a lot of these guys in the States, I was overwhelmed with the number of people that were talking about AfroStar at the time. And I was telling people about Afro a lot as well. And it, you know, I think it's an incredible project, one that everybody should be getting behind. It's just, for me, it's a little bit disappointing that some people have drifted away. And I think that's personally to do with the nature of the way the last couple of months hasn't been great in crypto for anyone, but we're now on hopefully an upward trend. I spoke to Darren and Tanya about a month ago and said, look, is there an opportunity to do a joint event in the metaverse? So we are partnered with Oculus. So it's not just any old metaverse. We've got our NFT drop going on at the moment, and we've run an event in the metaverse with comedians. The next one we're running is with another group of comedians, but the week after, so the 23rd of February, we want to run a joint event with you guys, joint sponsored Afro and Joke, and get everybody some great exposure, get all of you guys in this community hopefully to come in and watch it and spread the word. And I think it's going to be incredible.
Can you tell us, Simon, about Metaverse and how it works? Because some people might not know about it yet. And what you have there, what kind of setup and what kind of club?
Yeah, sure. So we're working with, I got very, very lucky actually. I sent an email to Future Tech Labs, and they are the guys that are building the Oculus Metaverse. And I got a reply really quickly. It was only about half an hour later from the CEO of that business, a guy called Sam Shepard. He said, look, I love the sound of what you're doing. Come and talk to us and see if we can set up to get your business or the joke business into the metaverse. Now, if none of you know necessarily what it is and how it works, you need a VR headset. So you need an Oculus Quest device. You need obviously a Facebook account, and then you create an Oculus account and go into what is called the multiverse. It's an extension of the real world. It's a cross between, some people might call it a game. I like to call it is real. You know, it's absolutely real. You can go in there and meet plenty of people, talk to people, discuss. Well, we're discussing comedy. We've met people in there talking about AfroStar randomly enough already, and the footfall in the metaverse, or this metaverse, is about 80,000 people a day currently. So wow. When you enter
80,000, that's pretty good.
Yeah, 80k, roughly 80k a day. They've built so far 450,000 buildings in the metaverse. It's called the Infiniverse, so it's going to be infinite. It's going to continue to grow. Currently, it is 400 kilometers square. So that's about the size of Manhattan, if you've got some guys on here from the US. It's growing all the time. People are buying properties in there. And I think people liken it to, for example, if you know Decentraland or Sandbox, some of these other metaverses that are out there. Obviously, probably one of the most well-known would be Facebook's Horizons. They're running their version of what they think will be the metaverse. That is being well, Zuckerberg is spending probably $10 billion a year building that, and he thinks he will win. Personally, Web3, looking at DeFi, I think we're looking at an open metaverse rather than one controlled by a big corporate like Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And can you tell us a bit about yourself and your background and how you got into crypto?
Oh, yeah. So I've been in crypto since the very beginnings, and I was I look back and I say, okay, I was very unlucky that I was mining Bitcoin at the time, at the very start, and I lost my wallet back then, and it would have had a few hundred Bitcoin on it. I have to say,
that's unfortunate.
Well, at the time, it was only probably worth maybe $20. And I probably say to myself, I didn't probably deserve it at the time. And hence, I've always been a geek, and our business in the UK is we run a business called S Media, which is, we think, the UK's leading YouTube ads agency. A couple of years ago, I've always had a love of comedy, let's say that. I think it's the best night out you can ever have. But we were talking to Comedy Central about YouTube, and they couldn't get their head around what Web3 could become. So I love talking to people the fact that the web is developing into something completely brand new with DeFi and crypto, Web3, the Metaverse. And it will be the case that VR and virtual reality will eventually kill off what we know as social media today, because people want a real experience. They want to go and meet people. They want to have interactive experiences rather than just typing into a keyboard. Social media for me, it's become sales media. It's all full of ads and people trying to flog you stuff. But when you go into the Metaverse, and when we launched our event and our club, so we opened a club in what's called Grand Central, which is the very center of the map. We paid $10,000 for that club. It's already worth over $50,000, and people are going in and buying apartments in the Metaverse. Now, if you follow some of the other projects, some of these properties then turn into NFTs themselves, and they can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Famously, just before Christmas, a small 2-meter square billboard sold in Decentraland for more than $2 million.
Wow.
The Infiniverse itself is being brand new. It's only really just getting going. It was in beta in December, and it opened for property sales on the 7th of January. San Shepard said to me that he had a target to sell 5,000 properties in the Infiniverse in the first quarter of 2022. He sold 160,000 in the first 3 days, and it continues to grow at pace. People are buying, I think there's 450,000 buildings in there now, and that's a mixture of office blocks, apartments, penthouses, shop fronts, and our comedy club is one of those shop fronts. We were actually lucky enough to be the very, very first business in the Oculus Metaverse. So we were advertised on their store. We had 2,000 people registered for the event on Saturday. I know that doesn't sound a great deal, but if you talk about other events, there was an event for Billie Eilish, and she only had 2,000 people as well. So
wow.
We were pretty chuffed.
So you're competing with Billie Eilish pretty well and winning.
She didn't come to our event, unfortunately. I didn't get to meet her, but the event went off. It was 8 p.m. Saturday night. 2,000 people registered, 800 attended, which we thought was incredible. And the majority of those people watched the entirety of the piece of comedy that was shown that night. It was 1 hour and 8 minutes. The incredible thing was, when you went into the club with your VR headset on, it felt like you were in a real environment. And I know, Tanya, you go to the Comedy Store in London. It's one of my favorite places on earth.
It's wonderful.
And it's awesome. But we actually replicated the feel of a real comedy club. And that was the one thing that I was a little bit apprehensive about. But, you know, talking about what we're going to do together, we're going to run an event on the 23rd. We're going to have African comedians on that event. They're going to talk about Afrostar. We're going to get as many people watching that as possible. And now we've had a successful first event. I think it should be just upwards from here, more and more people coming into each of these events. And if we both promote the Afrostar event, we can also talk about the token in that event as well. So we can get you some more holders, get people excited about the future of Afro. What's the next steps for Afro?
The next step is we are working on a copy trading app to create a utility for the token. And then after that, we will be launching a coin, or it might even be simultaneously. And getting events like this and sponsoring some African comedians would be a really good way to attract more attention and to promote Afrostar, because events like Formula One and Super Bowl is a little bit further down the line and sponsorship of such events. But I'm sure it's gonna happen.
I don't think any of us have got the sort of budgets that those guys that advertised during the Super Bowl
yet.
There was ridiculous. I think one of them was quoted like $14 million for one ad, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is expensive. Yeah. But events like comedy shows, I think it's very a good approach, and it's very good niche market, and it makes people laugh and it makes people happy. So how can it get better? And I think it's really I personally like the idea. We had, even in the beginning, a few people suggesting to get African comedians to promote Afrostar. But getting them into comedy club would be much cooler, I think. When they do the show and talk about our tokens, that would be really, really cool. Can you tell us, Simon, how do... Sorry, carry on.
Go on. So, you know, obviously the key part of this is, you know, people may say, oh, why are you having a collaboration with the joke community? You know, we've got our own token called Joke Community, and that's been out since roughly the same time as you guys. And we have to some extent had the same sort of journey, because we had a massive start. We had, you know, the token settled to a level, and then it's now needs more impetus. And when you started introducing me to African comedians, for me, the opportunity is to take somebody in Africa who's not necessarily well known, put them on a stage, give them an audience that they would never have had otherwise, and give them the opportunity to earn where they wouldn't have done. And it's that opportunity to bring somebody from, you know, a town that most of us probably, you know, have never heard of, somebody that we've never seen before, put them in front of an audience, and they could get really famous. We don't know. Yeah. But they could also bring income to their local community. And I think that's really what we're trying to do.
Well, Afrostar stands for creating mainstream cryptocurrency or mainstream form of payment. So starting with paying comedians with tokens, that would be really, really cool. What do you think?
Yeah, you're breaking up on me a bit, Tanya, so I didn't quite catch everything you said, but I think it was something along the lines of, how do these guys get paid?
Something along the lines of paying them in crypto tokens.
Yes. So to have a digital currency for Africa where everybody can trade and earn, I think that's an incredible vision. And I really do hope that you guys pull that off with the community that you've got. I want to see people getting excited about Afrostar. Obviously, I'm a holder. I care about the token. I want you, you know, and the thing is, there's not that many doxed projects out there, you know, properly doxed like you guys are. I know people do get impatient because, you know, we all know that a week in crypto is like a month, you know, and a month is like a year, and we want things to go fast. But the key to these type of projects like yours and mine succeeding is the community and everybody pulling together, everybody working hard, and not sitting back. You know, we're going after people that love comedy. That said, you know, we have our NFT drop at the moment, which gives people lifetime access to comedy. It gives them an apartment in the metaverse for free. It gives them staking opportunities. You know, I know you guys have been looking at, you're maybe looking at launching your own NFTs, is that right?
Yes, for sure. It hasn't been or the first item on the list, but it is happening a bit further down the line. And I know that you want one of our gold coins, so it's coming up.
Yes,
not as
I know. There's a lot of
have
people that want one of those gold coins, but until I spoke to you the other day, I didn't quite realise how big they were and how expensive they are. You know, so the people that get their hands on those are going to be incredibly lucky.
For NFTs, we might make a bit smaller gold coins, real gold coins. So they
that'd be an idea. If you got, I think it would be incredibly successful if you guys had an NFT drop, and one probably that, you know, the people who buy the NFT maybe get a very small coin, or the chance to get a coin, or stake their NFT to get a coin, because I like staking tokens to earn. So, you know, I know you've looked at it, maybe for the future roadmap is staking AfroStar to earn future benefits. That would be something that would be really interesting. But from the NFT perspective, it should be there to give you access to events and give you access to benefits. So something like, you know, maybe the people who hold the NFT, they get first access into the pre-sale for the coin, or they get maybe early access beta to some of the app features and things like that.
Yep, that's definitely part of the plan. So tell us, how can people get to this very special event on the 23rd of February, and what they need to do and how they can prepare, and where do they get the invites?
Again, you're breaking up on me. Was it, how do people get access to the event?
Yes, how do they attend the event and what do they need for it?
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll make the event advertised on Oculus Store. So a lot of people will get to see AfroStar through that. We will put posters on the front of the club with AfroStar on them. So if we can get those posters up this week, we will. And that'll mean 80,000 people a day will be wandering past that club, seeing the branding for AfroStar. We'll get a list of the comedians that are going to appear. All you actually need is an Oculus headset. And I know not everybody has one, but we're actually giving away 5 Oculus headsets in our NFT drop that's going on at the moment. So if anybody does want to check that out, it's done on jokecommunity.io. If people want to visit the website, that's where we're minting the NFTs at the moment.
If people want to buy that headset, how much would that be?
Sorry, I lost that.
If people want to buy headset, how much would that be?
So you can get the Oculus Quest headset. I think the cheapest one is about £299. You can get them off Amazon. I did ask Oculus when we came to do our NFT drop, we've got 3,000 pieces. And I said to Oculus, well, I want to give a headset away with every NFT. What sort of discount can I have for 3,000 pieces of Oculus headsets? And they said, well, you can't, because they're all sold apparently at a loss. It's a bit like, you know, the PlayStation is
leader.
sold below cost to get people to buy the game. So I couldn't, unfortunately, negotiate a discount. So you don't get an Oculus with the NFT. You just get an apartment. But the apartments in the metaverse, I believe, will be extremely valuable to people in the future, especially as the ones that we're giving away, they're going to be near our comedy clubs. And I know you guys are looking at perhaps opening up somewhere for training events in the metaverse. We talked about that.
Yep, that's right. We are going to be also collaborating on educational side, where we will teach people about investing. So that was a very kind offer from yourself. And we are happy to try that out and see how it works.
I think it's such an exciting time to get into the metaverse. And I know it's a buzzword. You know, a lot of people are saying metaverse this, metaverse that, games, play to earn. You know, metaverse is the biggest word this year in pretty much the whole of Web3. But we're looking at, you know, the opportunities are to get people into events. Imagine one of your events being held in VR and people attending from anywhere on earth. That's, you know, that's the opportunity to have. For example, in our case, we can stream a comedian, and rather than them being in a club with maybe 100 people, we can put them in front of an audience with 10,000, 100,000, maybe more. You know, we're looking at buying a stadium in the metaverse, branding that up, putting in, you know, tens of thousands of people. We've been speaking to a lot of the world's biggest comedians like Jim Gaffigan. I'm speaking to lots of the people in the UK, you know, probably names that you guys probably won't know. Someone like Dom Jolly, Off the Curb Productions. I spoke to the guys at the Comedy Cellar in New York last week, and we're doing a deal with them, hopefully, to stream their content into the metaverse. There's people coming in and running all sorts of businesses in there. And I really do encourage people, if you want to get in early, because those apartments that people are buying up are selling so fast. Our clubs that we're opening are going to be the one in Grand Central. We've got one in the Arts District, one in the Music District, and one in the Cultural District. And the people who come and buy our NFT, they get given an apartment near to one of those clubs. But there's no reason why you guys can't create an Afro Star community in the metaverse, and have people, you know, having their apartments near to your center where they can go and get training, they can meet up, socialize. The social aspect of this is incredible. Literally, you know, these guys that are in our community, we've been wandering around, just meeting people, chatting to them. What brought this around really was the first day that I went into the metaverse, probably a month ago, or probably just 5 weeks ago now. The first person I met in there was talking to me about Afro Star. So there's like so
nice.
many people talking about your token. It's incredible. I think it's just needs the new app to come out, a little bit more push and a bit more community engagement. And I know you guys do have, you try to get people to come together and work. It could be a real big opportunity for you to get people into the metaverse and forming a team of people that are spreading the good word.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. We'll definitely consider getting a venue in the metaverse. That sounds like an amazing plan.
But the thing with you guys running an event with us, so that event is going to be on the 23rd. So that gives us a week to really start pushing it and getting that content together, getting people talking about it, getting people excited. And if we both work together as two communities to promote this African comedy event, I'm going to be contacting the comedians that you suggested to me. We will try and get some of those for future events. And there's no reason why we can't have lots of meetups, lots of people getting involved, bring some good to Africa itself, get those guys some more income, and obviously let's hope they can then pay an Afrostar.
Yeah, that will be a really good plan for the future. Would we
Cool.
want to take some questions, Simon?
Absolutely, yeah. If anybody wants to ask, they can put their hand up.
If anyone wants to ask a question, please put your hand up. I do not see. I saw some hands in the beginning, but now I don't see.
Maybe everybody's gone shy.
Stage fright. Okay, Raphael wants to speak. Okay, hi, Raphael. You can speak. Raphael, hello.
Hello, sorry, I was on mute. Very nice. I think is very good what you said. There are some questions from the chat asking how to enter, how to participate on the event, because it sounds really interesting. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so if people do want to get involved with the event, they can. Can you hear me okay, Tanya?
Yes, can hear you fine.
Okay, it's just, yeah, it didn't look like my mic was reacting. So people will just be able to turn up. We're not going to make people pay to come in. They can, as long as you've got an Oculus headset, and I know obviously not everybody has, you will be able to come to the club and attend and watch and meet other people. What we'll do is we will definitely record the event, and anybody who doesn't get to come to it, we'll share it straight afterwards as a YouTube video or a feed onto this group. So hopefully you will all get to see it. And then at that point, ideally, people can share it, talk about it. We can get the next event after that scheduled with some of the other comedians that Tanya's put me in touch with. And then at that point, you know, you can get more and more people coming more regularly to be exposed to the joint branding of Joke and Afrostar.
Ray and Scott, you also can speak. Ray, Scott?
I need to ask about, have you guys looked into collaboration with Akon, who is a rap artist? He's also deeply involved in Africa. You also have a coin that came out. I don't know if you guys have looked into that.
Not really, not yet. But if he is interested in collaboration, of course, we will be happy to collaborate with Akon.
Does he have a project in the Metaverse as yet? Do you know?
I have not looked that far deep into it, but I know he have a coin that is listed on Bitmart. I think they also have their own blockchain, if I'm correct. But he have a very there's a big city that he's building in Africa. He received a large sum amount of money from the Chinese company who was supporting his project, which is supposed to be very big.
Okay, well,
Cool.
we'll look into
sure.
it. Scott,
Yeah.
did you also have a question? And Vladimir, also you can speak.
Yeah, I just had a question up related to this and about the blockchain, what people have been asking, if that's all right.
The question about blockchain is a bit premature, and the question was whether we will migrate the token onto the blockchain. The answer is yes, and it is possible technically, but it's not the time yet for it. We are scheduling to launch copy trading up first and then the coin. People seem to be very keen to ask about it, but it hasn't been on the roadmap #1 just yet.
Okay, so you are open to the idea of just having the coin once blockchain is launched, and not the coin and the token?
Sorry, what's the question again?
Sorry, a lot of people are asking what's the point of having a token and the coin?
Okay, understand. Well, it's different utility. The coin is supposed to be the currency of Africa because we are planning to make crypto as the mainstream form of payment. And token, because of the high tax, is not suitable for being a form of payment for goods and services. And token will have a different utility in the app, and it will qualify people for pre-sale when we launch the coin, and it will also be used in a copy trading app. And obviously a coin and the token will have different staking percentages because token is more volatile than the coin.
You can't merge the token with the coin then and have the, because the coin will be powered by the Afrostar copy trading app as well there.
It's two different things, therefore we would not merge one into another. It's not necessary. Vladimir?
Yeah, I think from my own, can I just say something from my own experience? Yeah. I know I've seen quite a lot of projects that do have a token and then move or transition to a coin. And I think what Tanya's saying is if you have different utility and staking for each, then they can live and become part of an ecosystem. But it's always awkward when a community tries to prejudge what the leaders of a token or a project are they're trying to, yes, put their own ideas forward. But I think personally, if these guys have got the roadmap that they have, they will announce things in due time, and obviously with the interests of the community at heart.
Thank you, Simon. Vladimir, you can speak.
Good evening. Just a quick question, Simon. Is that I'm seeing you can connect on your platform. What network? I missed the beginning of the chat. So what's networking working on? And also on Metaverse, how much roughly cost a spot or a flat to buy in it?
So in the Metaverse at the moment, some of the flats in the very center can be hundreds of dollars. Some of at the very top, the penthouses within the Metaverse are thousands of dollars already. The way it works is as the buildings grow, the cost goes up. So the more people that are in an area, the average cost of those apartments goes up within that area. So the very center of the map is highly densely populated. For example, office blocks in the center of Grand Central now are up to $250,000. But as you go further out into the outlying cities, you can still pick up properties for like $20, $30, $40. It's not to say that they won't be worth probably thousands in the future. The deal we've done with Oculus and Future Tech is that the people who get an NFT from us, they get an apartment for free with it near to one of our clubs. So those apartments will be dropped to people who buy the NFTs. Our NFT drop is minting at the moment, and it's 0.075 ETH for one NFT. Many people have max minted 10. So, to get themselves 10 apartments, the apartments will be allocated as soon as the drop closes. So our NFT drop finishes this Saturday. And it's at that point at which we close the drop that the apartments are allocated to the wallets that have taken part.
Harold, you can also speak. Oh, Vladimir, have you finished? Or?
Yes, thank you very much.
Cheers, Vladimir.
Harold?
Yes, thank you. You kind of answered part of the question I was asking, because I was on the Joe Community website and I was just looking at the NFT meant, but it didn't actually specify what the item was purchased in. It just said 0.075, but 0.075 something. But you said
Yeah.
ETH, so I presume that what we're looking at about $150 roughly, $200, something like that.
Just over 200 at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And it mentions that if you buy one of those, you automatically get a free apartment. Is that correct?
Yeah, you get a free apartment, regardless of whether you've got an Oculus headset or not. So you can buy that as an investment. They will be in their own right NFTs in the future. So San Shepard confirmed to me that the apartments within the Infiniverse will become NFTs. The other thing that you get when you buy one of our NFTs is you get free lifetime access to every single event we run in the Metaverse. So as we move forwards, and we have bigger and bigger comedians performing, and not so big ones, we're going to have open mic nights. We're going to have, like we say, we might have one of our comedy stores dedicated purely to African comedy. You know, that may well happen. But any of those events, they will be completely free to the NFT holders for life. And they will be, from about 6 weeks' time, ticketed events. So as we build up and we bring the bigger and bigger names, obviously we need to pay the clubs, the comedians, we need to pay Oculus themselves. And that's when we need to start ticketing. But the people who buy the NFTs, they become the OG jokesters. Those guys that have the Joking Jungle Cat NFT will get in for free for life.
Wow, yeah, that's really good. You mentioned about you've got running this competition on the Oculus headsets for NFT purchases. I can't see anything on the website that's talking about that, but is that just going to be something that you automatically draw at the end of the NFT closure?
Correct. Yeah. So we're giving away 5 headsets, and we're giving away 5 penthouses as well. So within the Infiniverse, the very top floor of any building is the penthouse. They are bigger. They have slightly more utility. I don't know what that utility is going to be yet, because San Shepard said to me the penthouses will have more utility than the apartments. One really cracking thing that we've negotiated, and I haven't even announced this part on my own community yet, so you guys are the first to hear this. Everybody who gets an apartment in the Infiniverse as a result of buying one of the Joking Jungle Cat NFTs will have a custom apartment. So that will be joke branded, it will have comedy in it, and it will have a link to the club. So when you go into your apartment, you'll be able to click straight into the comedy club. And what we're envisaging is a scenario where people can just sit at home, put the headset on, and go to a comedy club. And what excites me about that is 95% of people out there have never experienced live comedy. It's a bit like saying, I love football, but I've never been to a football match. And if you like comedy and you've watched plenty of comedy, look, most people enjoy comedy, but most people haven't been to a live comedy event. And I'm telling you, please, if you're listening to this, and even if you don't buy one of our NFTs and you don't come to our club, please make it a mission to go to a live stand-up comedy event, because you will experience something that is off the charts better than anything you've ever seen on a flat screen.
I can definitely relate to that and agree with Simon. I love Comedy Store in London, and it's one of the best nights out that you can enjoy in London. It's I think
it's absolutely my favorite night out.
Yeah, I was there like a couple of months ago, and it was really amazing. Really good comedians and lots of laughing, lots and lots of laughing.
Look, it's not for everybody. If you go to one of these events, you may well see 4 or 5 comedians, and there'll be a couple that are not your cup of tea, but you'll always find 1 or 2 that it makes your night. And it keeps, like, I had a message following our launch event on Saturday from a woman on WhatsApp, and I'll not tell you the exact content because it got very personal. She said that comedy had pretty much saved her life in lockdown, and she found comedy. She was going to buy a couple of our NFTs so that she could go with her and her daughter to live events. We're intending on having hundreds of clubs, and I know that sounds a lofty ambition, but there's that many people performing comedy around the world on a daily basis. All we literally need now is a phone and a streaming account, and we can stream it straight into VR.
Sounds all good. Thanks for that. Can I just ask one more question, Tanya?
Yeah, sure.
I know that we're all sort of itching at the I don't know what you call it, but we're all really sort of chomping at the bit. That's the word I meant, with regards to the copy trading app release. And I presume that you've obviously already seen the skeleton of the copy trading app and are now sort of trying to create it into a position where it will work well. Do we have any kind of idea of when you hope to launch it?
Everyone is pushing me for the date, and I have few investors who are saying, okay, I want to invest on the day when you announce the launch date. And I'm like, okay, on the day when we announce the launch date, it's gonna be too late to get the biggest growth on investment. And you are not the only one that's asking about it, but it will be released in due course. Sorry to disappoint you.
No, yeah. It's just we know that is going to be so influential on the stability of the coin, of the token.
Yeah.
And whilst we're watching the world go up and down at the moment, we know that that's going to make a big impact. I guess that's why we're all super excited for it to arrive. But obviously, it was just I guess what we're looking at. We obviously have an aim, but if you were going to say, well, it's not going to be ready till December this year, then of course that's
it's definitely gonna be ready until December. I can almost I don't normally guarantee anything, but I can certainly guarantee this.
Fantastic.
Definitely before December.
And I think one of the things that's true is, and I've seen this in many tokens, when people get bored and tired and the community gets quiet, it's then that you suddenly find that that's when the announcements come, and that's when token prices rip, and it's the people that have got washed out along the way, the paper hands, the people that weren't really meant to be in the project. That's when you guys as the holders get rewarded. And that's how I feel. I'm genuinely invested in AfroStar. As I say, I have been since the very beginning, haven't sold any of my tokens, and I genuinely want to see this as a massive success. Just takes a little bit of patience.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, guys.
No, thank you, Harold. Unfortunately, we have to end for today because we have to jump onto the next AMA with the joke community. So if you want to continue asking questions either about joke project or about AfroStar, you can jump onto the next AMA. It's gonna be in Discord, right, Simon?
Yeah, so if you want to join us on Discord at the top of the hour, our Discord link is discord.gg/JC for joke community. So discord.gg/JC. If you want to jump over there, you will need to just verify yourself. Once you hit the verification and you click the green tick, then the stages all open up and you're looking for the link at the very top that says AMA stage. But we'll be on there at the top of the hour.
Yep, we'll need to jump onto the next one. So more news to come the next AMA, and also we will be posting information about the event in the community. So stay tuned and have a wonderful evening, everyone.
Yeah, look
Right.
forward to seeing you all on the AfroStar sponsored joke event. So, and hopefully see you all in VR, almost in reality. So, yeah, see you soon.
See you soon.